Martin Roberts. He's best known for a broadcasting career spanning 3 decades. I'm not sure if he can believe that himself. A TV presenter, TV and radio, is also an author, journalist, and last year he was a contestant on ITV's I'm a Celebrity. And he is about to launch the United Kingdom's first Achieve Expo. It's in October. It's been held in Bath at the Assembly Rooms. And hello to you, Martin.
Good afternoon.
How are you? I need to ask you about your health, don't I, really? Because this is all about health, wealth and happiness.
I feel rubbish, which is why I need to go to the exhibition, you see, to learn about stuff. Like I guess a lot of people in middle age, you get sort of, you can't be bothered with all that sort of like sensible eating and newfangled things to do with, health and well-being. And then there I was, in the jungle, and for 3 weeks I was forced to give up drinking. I was forced to really watch what I eat, very simple foods, do a little bit more exercise than I would normally do. And lo and behold, 2.5 weeks later, not a stone, I've actually managed to cure myself of a lifelong problem of asthma. Mm-hmm. And so it just got me thinking, how much is it possible to change and make radical changes to your life in a very short period of time? And so I started researching the whole world of health and well-being and happiness, and mental attitude, and and the latest technologies in terms of nutrition. And it's an absolutely fascinating world where it seems that you could mirror what happened to me without having to eat bugs. And,
I was going to say there's got to be easier ways of doing it than that. Did you ever think for a minute that it would have such an impact on your life doing something like that?
No, not at all. I'd focused on other things. I'd focused on what would happen in terms of publicity and the stresses of being in the jungle with a group of people you'd never met before and blah blah blah. But the health side, I never thought I'd go in there and get healthier. That was the last thing that I was contemplating would be the outcome. But what struck me more than just what happened was the speed at which it happened, and I think that got me, inspired to put on this exhibition Achieve in October, because I reckon if a lot of people thought that they could make some dramatic changes, or that they would see some dramatic changes in a relatively short time. We're not talking about 6 months of eating lettuce leaves here. We're talking about 2 weeks of fairly strict strict diet and health regime, but to see such dramatic effects in a short period of time, I think if most people thought that all they would have to put up with was 2 weeks before they saw something big change in their body, I think most people would give it a go. Which is why I started bringing together all these people from the world of health and nutrition and mindfulness and well-being and bringing them together into this exhibition in October, really.
Absolutely. The fascinating thing for me is that it is a big departure for you, isn't it, from what you would normally do? Or do you feel it's a bit of a bringing together of some of the strands of your career?
I don't know. One of the things we're looking at, of course, is financial freedom through investing in property and buying properties at auctions and managing your finances better. And circumstances, if you get yourself into a bit of a financial pickle, and making you realise that there's people out there who can help you. So I've always been involved in that kind of world and inspiring people through my television shows to maybe think outside the box in terms of their careers and the properties there to maybe help them. But certainly the health and nutrition side of things is not something I'm particularly well known for. But on the other hand, part of the package, what everyone strives for really is and stress-free wealth, and that will lead to happiness. And also, if you can look into the worlds of mindfulness and just being maybe having a different mental attitude and or accepting that that our mental health is really important. And actually, funny enough, it is actually linked to some of the health things. It is linked to your gut health and all that kind of stuff. If you start linking the lot together, then it is fascinating. And it's a challenge to put on an exhibition.
I can see that. One of the things you seem to pick up on is actually we all need a bit of motivation. And actually, you've got quite a few speakers coming to the expo itself. I won't read out the whole list, but starting at Frank Bruno and going through Eddie the Eagle Edwards, etc., etc. There's an awful lot of people who have done something in their lives, something special, or maybe overcome obstacles.
Very much so, and none more so than, say, for instance, Sir Ranulph Fiennes, who we've got speaking, who'll be talking about his mental attitude when he's doing his amazing challenges. And as you say, everyone's favourite failure, Eddie the Eagle. How did he do that? And Frank Bruno, struggling with depression when we would all just see that boxer, and yet he says, the hardest punch is the one you can't see coming, and he talks about his issues with that, and Ruby Wax. Again, talking about mindfulness and that kind of thing. But then we also got people like Deliciously Ella and Dale Pinnock, who's a guy called the Medicinal Chef, somebody who's a specialist on gut health. And so we're also bringing those people together to inspire from the health side of things. Because I think it is almost relatively recently that we've started recognising that our physical health from what we eat, which it has to be really, doesn't it, can actually affect our mental health. And so bringing the two things together and then throwing in, well, actually, if you're also worrying about your finances, then that's going to be very difficult for you and affect your mental health too. Bringing these things together, suddenly it all seems to gel.
How does the expo itself work? You've talked about there are speakers, obviously, but there are also well-known manufacturers and commercial organisations there as well. Yeah.
So we've had a very interesting time choosing the people, because it's a relatively small space. We're in the assembly room, so we've only got space for about 50 speakers. Sorry, about 50 exhibitors. Yeah. So we started with our speakers. So we got 14 speakers, as you say, everyone from Dale Pinnock to Frank Bruno to Sir Ranulph Fiennes, and then we went out to people who are providing products and services that we thought fitted in with our remit. So it was a very interesting sales approach. It was like, we think you would fit in quite well with what we're doing. We'd like to give you the opportunity to exhibit,
yes,
rather than, please, will you come along? So you won't find people selling, machines that do spirals of vegetables or clean your windows. But it is all everything from somebody who does. As the lady I was with today, Joe, who does styling. So, how to style yourself to make yourself feel better. People who provide nutritional supplements that really can make a big difference. A variety of companies, from Panasonic, who've now got a health and beauty range, and they're really very much into their juicing. My own brand, Martin Making Money from Property, and Legacy Education, who are looking at helping you, improve your financial affairs and work on financial freedom. So just trying to really bring together a diverse group of exhibitors who can just inspire you, really, and say, this is a way to health, wealth, and happiness, and we've got products and services that might be able to help you.
Okay, I know you're launching it now. We're into that sort of phase. Have you had any sort of mixed feelings where you thought, what have I taken on here? Am I going to actually achieve this? Yeah.
Well, we did the budget the other day, and it looks like I'm going to lose about £5,000 doing this. So, in terms of a business venture, it's not my blessing. So I'm not doing it for the money. Okay. I'm actually doing it because I do actually love the idea of giving people an opportunity to hear about things and see things which might actually make their lives better. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm being altruistic. But when I do Homes Under the Hammer, and I see people who have watched the show and they've gone ahead and followed my advice and suddenly they're financially free, they can put their kids through school or university because of what I've said. It's a good feeling. It's like when you do a radio show and you tell people about something and you get a listener saying, listen to that, and it was amazing because I hadn't thought about that, but actually now I'm doing it and I feel much better. That's what we're here for, isn't it? As broadcasters and as communicators, it makes me feel good. So, I'm very proud of what we're doing. The amount of effort it takes to put on an exhibition, you just have got no idea. But I've got a great team of people behind me and around me.
And you're fit and healthy. You're there. You're in the right frame of mind for it. It's no problem.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. So it's the 14th and 15th of October anyway, and it's at the Assembly Rooms in Bath, and there's lots of information on achieve.co.uk, which is our website.
And where can you see this going? If I'm tying up the rest of your life for you now. You do this one, it finishes. You think, ooh, that went well. What happens next?
We've already got space booked for next year in the same place, so we're redoing it back. And then I do love the idea of spa towns, because spa towns have a history of well-being, haven't they? People used to come to Bath to take the waters. People, come to Glastonbury, for all the spiritual stuff that goes on. And so I think we'll probably, if it goes well, we'll look at other spa towns, maybe Harrogate and other places which have got a tradition for health. I don't really want to move to somewhere like somewhere like Excel or some huge, soulless exhibition hall. I want to keep it some sort of really quite intimate. And who knows?
And it's personal for you because you live in the area.
I do, yeah. I live just outside Midsummer Norton. So I'm a West Country. I'm an ambassador for Somerset tourism. I'm a huge fan of this beautiful county that we live in, and so it's nice to bring it to Somerset, to Bath, to the West Country for the first one, but also it's just coincidental that I don't think there could be anywhere more perfect. A, because the West Country is the best place in the world, isn't it? And B, because Bath has got such a great, such a history of health and well-being, and we've got a dinner around the pump rooms, and and around the baths themselves.
Oh yeah, because you're raising money for charities as well, aren't you?
Yeah, we've linked up with the RUH. The Royal United Hospital, their Forever Friends appeal. So we're raising money for that, and we're also linked up with Bath Mind. So tapped in with the local part of the fantastic Mind charity, which obviously looks at mental health and tries to help people in that sphere. So we've got a gala dinner on the Saturday night where we're hoping to raise lots of money through a charity auction and various other things to raise money for those two fantastic local charities.
Okay, Martin has a really good feel-good factor about it all, and you're obviously inspired yourself.
Yes, I am, and as I said, to see the exhibitors come together, to see the speakers come together, and it's to think it was probably a mad idea sitting in the bath with a glass of wine one night, and I don't know, it is a nice. It's something very nice to come from my jungle experience and to be able to pass it on and hopefully inspire people and help people achieve whatever they want. I mean, literally, I like the name Achieve because everyone has presumably something they'd like to achieve, be it more time with their family, be it better health, be it a bit of weight loss. No matter how small your goals are, you've got to start somewhere. And if you realise that actually you can make big changes in a small amount of time, and we can inspire you and show you a way to do that, then that's not a bad thing to be doing.